HTML to
This meeting is being recorded.
To CSS, then to Bootstrap. So like we can develop a website using these three things: HTML, CSS, and Bootstrap. Okay, and now coming to the point static and dynamic. Like we see some website having only uh, some kind of information related to any institute or uh, any kind of social media. So that is not dynamic, that is only static page. So we can achieve that part using these three. Bootstrap is also needed because we can uh, just view that application either in laptop, computer, or mobile. So for that responsiveness we need to have that Bootstrap. Otherwise you can achieve using HTML or CSS. Okay, for responsiveness we need to include Bootstrap in our software. So now we will develop static web page using these three, and for making it dynamic we will learn JavaScript. That is quite vast in like uh, in terms of learning, but will not go into deep, to be frank, because our agenda will to just provide you the basic knowledge so that you can just quickly uh, get to know what kind of knowledge we need to develop any website. So for that only we are focused to uh, learn in this platform, in this session. So four topics I have told you all, like HTML, CSS, Bootstrap, and JavaScript. So and then next to that uh, we will learn some other things like uh, in any application we need to have database as well, because uh, as I mentioned, dynamic, it means like some related to database. So for that part we will learn MySQL database and NoSQL database like MongoDB or anything. Okay, so we'll try to uh, learn that part also. And coming to the Java part, like you know, Java is the most popular language, and so we'll start with Java as well. So recently Soumya Ranjan Sahu has joined, so I will request Soumya Ranjan Sahu to please give us a brief introduction.
Sir,
Yes,
sir,
sir. Hi, sir.
hello.
Good evening, sir. My name is Soumya Sahu. I am from Odisha, Kendujhar districts, and my MCA has completed 2021, and now I am joining PCS Global. I am happy with you, sir.
Okay, thank you. So Ria, you are telling something.
Yes, sir. Sorry for the interrupt, sir. Sir, can you please tell me the four topics again?
Okay. So
This,
HTML, CSS, Bootstrap, and JavaScript. These are the things we need to learn for website designing. Then for the interactive part, for database part, we'll learn MySQL and MongoDB. And for the coding perspective, we'll learn Java. That's all. So these all topics we'll try to complete in our these sessions, onward sessions. So we will have another trainer as well. So like me and that trainer will be the coordinator for those sessions. So today just I just wanted you to just be collaborative with me and one another, and just get to know each other, and just get aligned what topics we will try to cover, so that you can just go through these topics, because there are some online platform as well. So you can just try to figure out what actually HTML is, what actually Bootstrap is, what actually CSS is. And coming to the database part, MySQL, MongoDB, and coming to the Java. So basic things we need to have in our mind actually. And the next point is like uh, my focus will be like quite be formal to each other. And whenever you find any kind of queries and all, you try to unmute yourself and ask. Okay. And at the end of the session, a recorded session will be given to you all guys. So you keep in mind that anywhere uh, you are not following with us, so you can just go through that recorded session later at later stage as well. So but try to focus on the live session, and try to grab as much as you can from the live session. So anybody knows what is HTML? Anybody? So it is just one to one, like you can share something, and no need to hesitate any kind of. So it is a kind of quite good atmosphere that we can uh, interact with each other. Whatever knowledge you know, you share with us, and it will be quite easy to later stage. So what is HTML? Can anybody tell?
Sir, HTML mainly is a language, and with this language, we can create a website, and with this HTML, we can also design the web page.
Yes, correct. So like what is the full form of HTML? Next, anybody? No, not Ria.
It's a hypertext markup language.
Okay. So okay. So okay, thank you, Kusal. So next, uh, what is the advantage of using HTML? Means what benefits you get? Next, anybody, like apart from those two, what is the advantage of using HTML? Yeah, start telling something at least from your end, like Susmita, Soumya, Subranil. You can tell us something what you know, because we have graduate, we have BTech, we have intermediate. So at least you know something. Okay. So try to tell us. Yeah, tell anybody.
Can you please tell me?
Yeah, what is the advantage of HTML? I'm asking.
The advantage is like basic knowledge about making web page and etc.
Means how it will give you like benefit using what? We have something like if you remember.
We can make a web page using notepads and that.
Correct, correct. Thank you. So we have tags that is
The full form
predefined.
is hypertext markup language.
Correct. Yeah. So as Subranil told, like uh, we have tags actually, that is predefined tags actually. So
Yeah.
we we have uh, predefined tags, and using those tags we can easily achieve whichever things we want to do, like using the basic br tag, that is break. We can make a line break actually, correct? So
Yes, yes.
kind of that we have another tags like we have title, whichever things we write on the title, that will be shown on the title bar. And next is like we have a marquee, whichever things we write on the marquee, so we will have a marquee effect. It will be like scrolling in the screen actually. So that is the advantage actually. So even we have like certain things, like we can define our own custom tags actually. So that is another topic. So we can have, suppose we find it like we don't have some tags that is not meeting our requirement, so we can uh, create our own custom tags actually. So we'll try to learn that part also. So, and next to that, css. So what is css apart from those three? Please tell, like what is css, like Susmita and Soumya, if you can please explain what is css.
In
Sorry.
there in
Yeah, your voice is breaking.
there
Hello.
and
Sorry.
may I audible?
Yes, yes, please tell us.
About CS in background color in HTML web page.
I did not get your point. What you are trying to say?
Uh, in HTML, uh,
Mhm.
we can use background color about
Okay. Sorry, Susmita. So you can write it on chat box. We'll try to get it from chat box if it is possible. So next, Soumya Ranjan, can you tell me the what is CSS? You
So
might be familiar with.
it's
Yes.
changing color and layout and front and parts.
Hmm. What is the full form of CSS? What is the full form of CSS, Soumya? So that is cascading style sheet. So like
Sure.
you rightly told, like it is actually kind of what we say to present any document written in HTML. So we can use CSS actually. So HTML like provides the structure of the page, and CSS the visual and the visual layout for a variety of what we say, like a laptop or desktop or any other kind of applications. So that is also a part of website designing. So we'll try to learn that part. So so can you tell uh, what is the basic structure of any HTML page? If somebody can tell how we write any HTML page.
Sir, basically HTML page is the in the URL like http dot. Uh, it's,
No, no, no. How will you start a HTML page? You start from HTTP.
oh, sir, sir, I didn't understand your.
Like how will you start doing code in HTML?
Oh, oh.
What
Sir,
what will be the first?
Sir,
Hmm.
within bracket this HTML,
Mm-hmm.
and then whenever we want to write any title, meaning there is a opening braces and there is also a closing braces.
Correct.
Opening braces, that's mean we need to start with HTML braces. Within braces we have to write HTML, and if we want to add any title, then within braces we have to write title, and after that within braces slash and then title, this is the closing type. And if we want to write anything in the body, we need to write that within braces body, and after finishing the body we have to mention the braces and many slash and body. This is the closing things, and after that the HTML mane h this HTML should be the closing mane. I don't know, do you understand or not mane?
Yeah, you are correctly explaining us, thank you. Even I will urge everyone to please listen to which whosoever is telling us. Please be concentrate actually, don't try to distract or anything, because the, because anybody is trying to uh, just make us inform, right, make us try to understand what he or she is trying. So yeah, thank you. I totally understand your point. So you like started with HTML tag. You just
And
told us like there is a title.
yeah, we need
So
to close it. Mane, if we start any code, mane, we need to
yes,
close it.
yes, correct. So we have a closing tag that Ria is trying to tell us. So like we start with the angular bracket HTML again. Uh, we just write anything inside title tag, so we need to close the title tag, and the last tag that will be closed, that is the HTML, because the first tag HTML. So whichever first tag you are using, that should be closed at the last. So HTML is the first line that we can start. In current structure we use doc type as well. So like we have certain version actually. So in HTML5 and onwards we use doc type as well. So that is another thing, but we start with HTML, closing and opening and closing. We have title, we have body as well. So these are the basic structure that Ria explained us, thank you. So next is like how how will you save it and how will you run the HTML file next, apart from Ria, if can anybody tell?
It
So
can be
my next
saved
question.
by
Mhm.
it
Yeah,
can be
please go
saved
on.
by ending with .html, and then
Correct.
if whenever it will be saved, then you can run with Internet Explorer or other
Correct.
Chrome or
Absolutely
Brave.
correct. Absolutely correct. Thanks a lot, Subranil. So as Subranil mentioned, we need to save this file with extension .html, then open it using Internet Explorer or any web browser. Correctly said. So I believe everybody has understood these 2 points. Means how will you start any HTML file, and how will you save it, and how you will run it. So as has anybody any kind of doubt in these 2 points, apart from those who did not get chance to speak up, like Susmita, Kushal? You can just ask. Okay. So I believe no, like everyone understood these 2 points, like how you will code that HTML file, how you will write any HTML file, how you will run that file. So that is up to the we are done with that. So next is like how you will implement CSS into that HTML. If can anybody tell us, like what is the role of CSS now? Now we wrote the code in HTML, we saved it, we run it. So we'll achieve that part actually. So now coming to the CSS part, what will be the next step actually? How you will include that CSS in the saved HTML. Suppose you have saved that HTML part. Now it is your point to it is your now responsibility to run that HTML using CSS. How will you achieve that? Anybody? So no problem. Like we have like another tag, that is link. So link is a tag actually. So there we have attribute. So attribute means, suppose I am a human, I have attribute like I have a nose, I have two eyes. So these are my attributes. So kind of that we have certain attributes that those are associated with any tag. So with link tag we have some attributes like href. So in href you need to point out that css file. So I will come to that later. So now, because my question was like how you will include that css file, so try to be focused on my question actually. So for that answer will be using link tag and using href attribute. Another point, we have rel like relation. So that will be equal to style sheet, and the type will be text slash css under double quotes. So that is the main thing, and this link will be written under head tag actually. So mind it, we have to write it in the, sorry.
Can you speak again?
So like we use link tag, and in the link tag we have href attribute. In the href attribute you need to specify that css file along with two other attributes, relation, that is rel, only rel, equal to style sheet, and next type will be text slash css. So I believe everyone is following with me. So we use link tag inside head tag, and in the link tag we have href, we have rel, we have type. Like I am a human, I have two eyes, 2 ears, okay, 2 legs. So kind of that link tag has certain attributes, okay. So using href we can point out that css file. Using rel we need to specify style sheet, and using type we have to specify text slash css under double quotes. So then we can include that css file to html. So now uh, next part is like how you will create any css file, because now you have included the css. So it will not be found out until you don't create any file with extension .css. How you will get that? So you need to create that css file. So like in the css file what we write. So like with respect to tag, like we have different tag, as we mentioned. We have body tag, we have headers also, h1 h2 up to h6. We have paragraph tag p, we have other like we have other tags as well. So for that part we need to specify in the another css file. So we need to create that css file actually, and we can create any css file in terms of like tag itself, like whichever tag you are using in the html file, we'll try to use that tag in the css, and we will specify something like for body. Suppose we need to have background color, so we can have background color, that is the key, and the value will be whatever color you want to have. For h1 you want to have text align, it will be center or anything. For paragraph it will have some other thing like font family and with respective value, font size with respective value. So so we'll actually look into that. So I'm just trying to just tell you in a very lame language, so you don't get worried actually what I'm trying to say. So my point is like we'll create a css file with extension .css, and that css file will have certain things like as I mentioned, we have certain tags in html like body, h1, h2, h3 up to h6. We have paragraph tag. So likewise we need to specify like what will be the design of body. So we want a body of color light blue, so we can specify in the css file itself, okay, body with the opening braces, background color, colon, the value light blue, semicolon, and the closing parenthesis. So it will uh, check, okay, so because we have already included that css file in the html itself, so html will go to that css file. It will check, okay, any kind of tag that you are using in html is having any kind of property or not. So it will check, okay, body is there in the html file. As Ria mentioned, we have a body also. So we just mention the body in the css and we specify the property, okay, the body will be of background color light blue. So it will automatically put that effect in the html itself. And later stage we'll see in the html itself we can include that part using style tag, no issue. But it is recommended to have separate css file. Either you can put that css in the html itself using style tag. You just start with the style and you write the uh, associated tags like body, h1, h2, h3 up to h6, p for paragraph, and you just specify what will be the property for that body for h1 for p. So you can include inline css. So what I mean to say, that is inline css means you are putting that property in the same html file itself. You need not to specify any link. But if you are putting it externally, so you have to specify what is the path. So that path you can put using link tag with attribute href. So href is like, it will be the reference. Suppose I am living in Kolkata. In Kolkata I am living in Danpuni. So I'm just trying to segregate, okay, in Kolkata I am living in Danpuni. So kind of that part is doing the css. So in the css itself we can uh, have many kind of properties we can associate. So as I mentioned, you can put that css part in the html file itself, or you can put in external file with extension .css. And this is the css part. So next to that, bootstrap. Do you know what is bootstrap? Do anyone know what is bootstrap? Because I already mentioned that thing at the beginning of the session. What is bootstrap? If someone can tell us. Okay, bootstrap is like used to create responsive web page. Suppose it is not necessary that every time you can even open any html file in your like mobile also, right? You can try that. So so while doing that, because screen size is somehow smaller obviously for mobile, and for laptop it is quite bigger. So it will be a challenge for you how you will make that part responsive. So no worry, we will have something that is called bootstrap to create any web page responsive. Actually we can have that page on laptop, desktop, or like ipad, or mobile. So bootstrap is used to make any web page responsive. That's it. So next to that, as I mentioned, database. So do anybody know what is database? What is database? See, until unless you don't contribute in speaking up, you will surely lag behind. Okay, because I will keep on saying you, I will keep, because I'm not sharing anything. Next session onward, I will try to uh, give you some assignment also. So see, in the first session, if you don't try to be interactive with me or other guys, so it will be very difficult to see. I'm not judging anybody. I'm not like distributing any kind of prize. Okay, first prize, second prize. So it is an open forum actually, that you contribute yourself by telling something what you know, because database is quite lame term actually. You know what is database?
Database is actually a collection of many organized collection of data.
Yes, right. So yeah, as Ria mentioned, that is organized collection of data. So like database part is like somehow you can understand, because see, um, we have to store something, because later staged in the HTML itself we have a form tag. Okay, we'll use actually. So suppose we are submitting any form in the HTML. Okay, so for that form actually we'll use some uh, connection actually with database. So there, for storing data actually we use database, that is kind of repository. Because see, we have a house, in house people live, even other materials also live, like kind of TV, fridge. So we have a repository actually. Even in the TV we see certain kind of things actually. uh, in the fridge we have certain kind of materials inside that. So kind of database is like a repository in lame term. So we store data inside that. So database is an important uh, what we say structure of any software. Because once you develop any dynamic web page, so we need to have database for sure, because otherwise we'll not able to store any kind of data. So for that purpose we need database. So now coming to that, we have MySQL database. We'll try to learn that, we try to install that, we'll try to do some kind of query and other part, we'll do that. So next is Java. What is Java? Can anybody tell what is Java?
So Java is basically a programming language. That is a this is a various features like independent platform. It is a secure and it is a very popular language in the IT industry, and it is the main function is the object oriented programming
Correct.
language.
Great to know. Thank you, Kushal. So yeah, as Kushal mentioned, that Java is a programming language. So we do achieve programming using other languages as well, C, C++. So, but Java is like most popular language actually, and it is OOPS, that is object oriented programming.
Yes,
So
sir.
we, sorry, yeah, Somya, you are telling something.
Yes, sir. Object oriented programming.
Correct. Thank you. So, in programming perspective, you can take it like whichever, like suppose I am from non-programming background, and I'm just trying to tell you like this is the requirement of my business. So, in simple term I will tell you, okay, try to build up any software which will do that part. So you need to have first of all algorithm actually, because for learning any kind of language algorithm is main thing. So algorithm is what like in the algorithm we have pseudo code actually, because before jumping to the programming language, because whosoever has completed their btech, they might have learned who is btech actually, Susmita, right? Or Ria?
No, no, it is me, sir.
Sorry,
It
who
is
has
yeah, yeah.
completed
Yes, sir.
btech?
It is me,
Okay,
Ria,
you have
sir. I
learned,
have completed.
algorithm, correct, if I'm not wrong?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. So, like, algorithm is kind of, before you jump to the code, you have to make a structure, because see, you are going to build a house, so you are not going to means you are not going to create a house or build a house directly. So you will first create a structure. For that, you can consult with any civil engineer or any kind of person who has knowledge to that part. So that is, see, try to understand with that example actually. Okay, you will surely learn. So with that house, I'm just trying to make a sketch of house, like how the structure will be. So for that, algorithm is uh, important thing. We make a sketch actually using algorithm. We have certain components. We have parallelogram, we have circle, we have arrow. So we'll learn actually, because before jumping to Java, it is must to learn algorithm, because in interview also, a later stage, you will get to have certain questions on algorithm also. So algorithm is kind of pseudo code. Pseudo, do you mean like pseudo is like before writing any kind of code, we do write pseudo code. So pseudo is not real. That is unreal actually. Pseudo means unreal. So so because since you have not implemented it, so that is unreal actually. Once you build a house, that is real, because that sketch is not building itself. Until unless you don't create a building, this is not building. You don't uh, like, you can't sell that sketch to somebody. Okay, after you create a building, you can just ask anybody to okay, purchase this house with this amount. So kind of that part, algorithm is kind of pseudo thing, that is not real actually. And to make it real, we need to understand any programming language. So here you will learn Java, that is quite popular. And we have certain, id. So id will make our life easier actually. Because see, uh, like, you can write a Java code in Notepad also. Correct, Ria? If you learn Java, means kind of exposure you
Yes,
have,
sir.
or
Yes,
any
sir.
kind of person. So you can write Java in Notepad also with extension .java. Then you have to compile it actually. Okay, using Java C. Okay, then you can run that file using Java. So this is one part, but we'll see actually, we'll see that part. But we have id actually. So like id means, the while naming id, I mean Eclipse simply, I mean NetBeans. Okay, these are the popular id. Even VS Code. Okay, this is also id. So id means it makes our life easier, in the sense like, we are in a notepad, we have to manually write all and each and every code actually. But in id, once you write any single keyword, it will give you certain suggestion. Okay, you try to write this thing. Okay, so like, suppose with one example, like, you create a class. So don't get confused actually. So you create a class, means because everything starts with a class in Java. Okay, you will get to know in ongoing sessions actually. So in class, once you write I n, you will get pop up. Okay, int. You are trying to write int. It will give you a suggestion actually that you will not get any notepad for sure. So for that perspective, because see, uh, in current scenario, we need to be very smart actually. So we will try to be very smart by using IDE, so not by using notepad, but you should learn notepad part also, how you will write any java code in notepad. You will save it using .java. Likewise you have done for html, css, and mind it, bootstrap is not any kind of file. It is simply embedded in the html, means we have to include it in html. We need not to create any kind of external file for bootstrap. So at the end of the session I will ask each and everyone whichever topics I have covered. Okay, so I believe you all guys are writing down these things actually. And so this is 9:18. I will complete by 9:25, and at least 5 minutes I will keep for like question answer session. Whatever questions you have, even I will ask some questions to you. So you have to be interactive anyway. So okay, we have 7 minutes more. I will then we'll stop and we'll ask you participants to please contribute yourself as much as you can. Okay, be focused. So like I have told, like we can use IDE like Eclipse, NetBeans, VS Code. So these are the popular IDE which helps us to uh, create that Java or any kind of. Okay, uh, we have opportunity to write even HTML in VS Code also. Okay, so we can write HTML in VS Code also. Once you write H, it will automatically give you HTML. No need to write HTML. Even it so many things you will get predefined actually. So this is the advantage of using IDE actually. So and next part, because see what whichever topic I have started with, I have tried to tell you in a very simple way actually today in the today's session. I have started with HTML. I have tried to say you all, like we can start with HTML tag, we can end with HTML. Even you guys have told to us, and we just got to know about what CSS is, what is the advantage of CSS, and we know inline CSS, we know external CSS. Inline CSS is something we write in the HTML file itself using style tag, and external CSS we write it externally with .css extension. Then coming to the bootstrap, bootstrap is not a file. This is just a framework. We just include it in the HTML file. That is for responsiveness. Suppose you want to run a HTML page in your mobile, so the screen size will be small. So there you will find certain anomalies actually, certain drawbacks. Whichever way you are viewing it in laptop or desktop, you will find it like quite uncomfortable to see in mobile. So for that we use bootstrap. Coming to that, uh, we'll see how we can include bootstrap. Okay, and next I have asked about database. So you know that is kind of structure collection of data, and it is kind of repository. And we have MySQL database, we have MongoDB. We will see that. Next we have seen, not we have seen, we have listened actually, because we are not seeing anything. So we have listened actually what is Java. So as uh, Kusal mentioned, Java is programming language. So I mentioned here this programming language. To that I just added on what is algorithm. So that algorithm is like kind of pseudo code, because before building a house we need to have a sketch, and we just create a sketch, and then after that we are convinced with that sketch, we just uh, go on creating building. So that is the part of algorithm. We have pseudo code, like that is not real actually, because until unless you don't implement it, it is not real. So using programming language we try to make it real. And as I said, suppose any non-programming person, suppose I am a non-programming person, so I'm asking any programming person like Ria, Susmita, Kushal, uh, so they will first try to understand my business logic. They will write it in pseudo code, or they, if they are brilliant, they are intelligent, they can simply start with coding as well. So for coding we will use Java, and in Java, as I say, we can create a Java file using extension .java. We can run it using commands Java, C, Java, but our focus will be achieve that part as soon, as quickly as possible. So we'll use IDE. So IDE is, I mean that interactive part we will see, like Eclipse, like NetBeans, like VS Code. So we will use Eclipse because that is popular tools, and so we'll try to do the coding. Even the HTML part also we can do. We can get several suggestions, several quick response from ID itself. So that's all from my end. So I believe uh, I have been able to tell you all what will be the structure of our understanding in coming upcoming sessions. So be ready, and as I already mentioned, in next 5 minutes, this is 9:24 in my laptop. In 1 minute, I will pick from, suppose from Shubranil. So I will start with Subranil. So I will ask simple question. So you try to answer me. So like as I mentioned, uh, what is HTML, and you will create it using tags. So what is the structure of any HTML file?
HTML structure is basically started with HTML tag, then body or title, it should be opened, and then after writing on it, it should be closed. Then we can go to body, and there will be uh, some notes that then after writing body, it should be closed, and then at last HTML should be closed by closing uh, tags slash
Okay,
HTML.
okay, okay, great. Next, Soumya. So do you want to add anything to what Subranil told, or he said whatever he said is okay? Soumya, Soma, can you unmute yourself?
Yes, sir.
So what Subranil told, uh, do you want to add anything to that?
Uh,
Okay, no problem. My question to you, what are the two ways to include CSS in HTML file?
so
Are you using any pen or notepad with you?
yes, sir.
Okay. So have you written the things I have told?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So I have actually repeated 2 3 times actually. Right. So tell me, what are the 2 ways that you can include CSS in your HTML file?
Yes,
See, in the entire session, you have not asked me anything. Now you are just keeping quiet. Is this a good way?
yes, sir. My laptop speaker are very low sound, so sir, my listening not clearly, sir.
You
So
can use
I'm
mobile phone as well.
no, sir, no, sir. I'm connecting laptop, sir.
No, no, I am trying to say you can use mobile phone as well for
Uh,
audio part. You know?
okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Okay, next time be careful. Okay,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
whichever things I am telling, I am not telling any kind of joke or any kind of uh, mimicry here. Okay,
Yes,
be
sir.
serious, otherwise there will be no benefit. Okay, simply you will join this session and you will have nothing. Okay, at the end of, this is not my target actually. Even I am investing my time for you all actually.
Okay, sir.
So try to understand that part and be serious actually.
Okay, sir.
So to your question, the answer will be, there are 2 ways actually. Either we can put that part, CSS part, in the HTML itself. Are you writing it down again or not? What I'm trying to say, you please write it down, otherwise again next time if I ask, you don't able to say, that will be a kind of embarrassing for you.
Okay, sir.
So try to write it down actually, my
Okay,
suggestion.
okay, sir.
So there will be 2 ways. Either you can just include that uh, CSS part using style tag, or externally you can have a CSS file with extension .css. Did you get my point?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So repeat it. Soumya, repeat it what I have told.
Yes, sir. I'm right. It 2 ways. And first get input the CSS and
Using what tag you will include in the HTML? Can you tell me?
uh, tell you.
Style tag. Okay.
Yes,
And
sir.
externally, how you can achieve? Using a file with extension .css.
Style tags.
Correct?
Okay.
Soumya, correct?
Yes, sir. Correct, sir.
Okay. Okay, next. Ria. So, like, what is the use of HTML in web designing? Can you tell us?
Sir, please repeat.
Yeah, what
Hello.
is the advantage of using HTML in website
Sir,
design?
actually, we can write HTML in Notepad, and mostly all browser can use money. It is very easy to use. Money. It is very user friendly, and we can also write in Notepad also. Our HTML is free. Uh,
Hmm. No, no, Notepad and free here we are not trying to figure out, because what is
uh,
the advantage? Advantage means you have to mention tags and all, not free and Notepad,
uh,
right? You have to be like, because we have inbuilt tags, we can
yes,
use
yes, yes.
inbuilt
In
tags. See,
HTML.
because
Ha, ha,
HTML,
ha, ha.
you are not creating HTML tag. It is already provided to us. So
Yes,
that is
yes.
the
This is
advantage, na?
already. This is already. This is already inbuilt.
Correct?
Yes, yes, sir.
So
Yes.
that you have to tell us, like in interview,
Yes.
suppose anybody asks,
Okay.
you have to
Okay.
be,
Okay.
you have to
Okay.
be answerable in that manner. So we have inbuilt tags. So using that inbuilt tags, we can easily achieve. We need not to manually write any kind of things.
Okay. 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 Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
So next,
Thank you,
Susmita,
sir.
what is Bootstrap actually? Where we find useful in where in using Bootstrap? Hello, Susmita, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Please repeat once again the question.
Yeah, I'm. Yeah, yeah, no problem. I asking you what is the use of Bootstrap? Where you will find useful in using Bootstrap?
Where we create Java.
See, I am not getting any kind. Huh?
Sir, Bootstrap also supports JavaScript.
No, I uh, have I told you any kind of JavaScript here in the session? No, na.
It's a Java. Uh,
See,
I think
you are no, no. Whichever things I have mentioned, try to be answerable in that manner. You may be like knowing something more advanced, so I don't find it suitable to. But my focus is like whatever I am learned, I am just uh, teaching you all. Try to answer in that manner, because JavaScript I have not touched actually anyway. Correct? Have I touched JavaScript? Any participant? No, na.
actually, sir, my background was biological science, so I
Sorry.
am some nervous.
No. Don't be nervous. I am quite frankly actually, frank actually. So
In first nervous, so
no,
I
no.
will try to my best in other sessions. So
No,
sorry.
be frank actually. We all are kind of friends here. Okay, believe in us. Okay, any kind of issue, any kind of challenge you are facing, as a family or as a uh, like friend, we will help you out. No issue. You all like my friends. Okay, so be like you are gossiping with your friend in college or anywhere else. So try to be like that. Don't be nervous, because I'm not going to uh, interview you, right? I'm just
Yes.
asking you simple questions. So be frank. Anybody you get stuck, I will help you. Like Soumya got stuck, I just help you out, right, Soumya?
Yes, sir.
So likewise, so even I figured out what Soumya is missing out. So that is my problem. That is my pointer. So like Susmita, don't be nervous. So be frank. And my question was like Bootstrap. So I don't know what you told. So Bootstrap is like uh, responsive kind of behavior it provides us. And we can have any kind of web page either in uh, desktop, laptop, or mobile. So we can have several problems while opening. Suppose any web page you are opening in laptop, if you try to open in mobile, so you do uh, desktop. There is an option in the mobile, desktop option. Have you all gone through that?
Yes, sir.
So so actually uh, while you do that part, you get desktop view in your mobile. That is not recommended actually, but somehow it is needed. So uh, for making any web page responsive, we use actually uh, Bootstrap. That's it. Susmita, did you follow me?
Yes, sir.
Hello, sir.
What I told?
Sir, we use Bootstrap for
Hmm.
create a responsive web page, top
Correct.
level
Thank you. Correct.
mobile.
Very great. Very nice. Thank you. Keep it up. So next question to Kushal.
Yes, sir.
So Kushal, you tell me like what is database and what is Java? These 2 points I am left with. So I will ask you actually because I don't find any other participant to answer. So please help me to
Oh, okay,
answer.
sir. I'm trying. Database is basically a like a Microsoft Azure. Azure is a database in the like online game. There is various types of data, and we store this data in the Microsoft Azure database. And there is a database of two types: MySQL and NoSQL. Um,
No. You are making it in a wrong way. Actually, not MySQL and like NoSQL. There are uh, like this MySQL is a kind of database. It is not the correct way to tell there are only two databases. There are lots of
okay.
databases. But what is database? You need to say that. What is database?
Database basically a collection of data and which we store in the uh, mm,
Yeah,
so
correctly, correct. Yeah, next. So we'll learn MySQL. That is a MySQL
my
database. Means,
SQL.
and we'll see other database like MongoDB also. Correct.
Yes, sir.
What is Java next?
Java is basically a popular object-oriented programming language, which is used in the IT industry, and it is very easy to use and platform independent. And uh, the,
Very good. Because I have forgotten to tell, like it is like independent of any operating system. So Kusal really appreciate. So Kusal mentioned like it is independent, like any operating system. Suppose in your laptop you are using Linux, you can also run that Java file. Suppose
yes,
your friend is using Windows, and that same Java file you can even run in your Linux machine. So that is the main advantage of platform independent of Java. So that correctly said by Kusal. So anything, any other point, Kusal, you want to add?
sir. Java. Uh,
Okay, no issue. So no issue. So thanks everyone. Actually, we'll conclude this session, and next session will get notification in the WhatsApp group itself. So you do one thing to all candidates actually. So whichever doubts you have, you can you just keep on your note in your notebook. Don't post it on WhatsApp. Otherwise, it will be like chaos. Okay, just in the next session, one by one. Uh, I and another trainer will try to uh, like answer all those questions. So be ready with any kind of confusions or queries. First point. Second point. So with with the format, I'm telling you, please make a note of that. Name, qualification, and skills. These three things I need in the WhatsApp group after end of the session. Name, like I'm starting name Subranin Malla, I'm just giving an example. Name Subranin Malla, qualification XYZ, skills XYZ. These 3 pointers I need by the end of session in the WhatsApp group. Is everything okay? Hello.
Yes, sir.
yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
these 3 points I need actually in the WhatsApp group, one by one.
Yes, yes.
Name, qualification, please write it down in the uh, no, like whichever notepad or note copy you are using. Name, qualification, and skills. So don't put any kind of listening music or any kind of playing games. This kind of skills I am not asking for. Skills means in computer what skills you have. Okay, you have, you are not trying to learn, you have already. Okay, so you these three pointers I need actually after end of this session. That's it actually. So any kind of queries, you just put it on your notepad or any notebook. Because notepad, because you can put it on notepad also, day by day session. Okay, so be smart actually. You, if you can't use any notebook, so you can put it on notepad with day basis. Okay, day one I have learned these many things, and what are the doubts, you can put it on the notepad itself. After ending of the session, you just figure it out either using Google or anything, or in the next session you can just ask us, the trainer, me or anybody else. So we'll try to answer those questions. Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
so okay, so thank you all. And so next session you will get notification in the WhatsApp group as I mentioned. So I'm just concluding this session, and I will request all to please uh, follow with me, and accordingly we can achieve whichever milestone we are trying to uh, dream of. Is it okay?
Okay.
Okay, so
Yes, sir.
thank you all.